Because when you pay your money to go to the cinema to go and see giant fucking robots fighting giant fucking robots, you see loads of giant fucking robots fighting giant fucking robots for nearly fucking 3 hours. Age of Extinction wasn't about the fucking Dinobots. It was about the hunting down of the Autobots and the extinction.
No, it wasn't. It was about selling shit to China.
The title of the movie was a play on words, you dumb fucks.
Michael Bay.
Must be stopped, no matter the cost.
And we are back. Thank you to we're joined again by Woody and Monty and Ronan, all the way from New York. As inexplicably, we have another three frigging Transformers films to talk about. So, where we left in part one was we all agreed that the animated film was the best one. So, should we not bother doing this? Yeah, let's keep this as the shortest. Yeah. Okay.
No, it made brain not work. We talk about this now.
So let's do it. So we need to start with this Age of Extinction here in the popular Blu-ray format, which is also 3D. Yeah, go on.
Brain gone extinct now, sir.
Yeah. It's another example of Michael Bay going. I think he went to the people who worked on the sets and said, "I'm running out of Transformers. Give me some names of people that were in the films and cartoons." And they went, "Oh yeah, Michael, we had there was something called Dinobots. They sound great. Do you want to see them?" "No, I don't need to see them. I'll think of something. Let's just make them, dinosaurs." "Oh right, okay." So that was how we introduced the Dinobots into Age of Extinction for no other reason.
Monty, how much does a Grimlock go for? A proper one, not one of those crap ones. A proper one.
A good one, about 50, 60 quid now.
I mean, that's a bargain. I'd get in touch with the Toy Nostalgia Man or Loose Action Figures and buy one of those.
I can't get my hands on them now. I don't buy them now. Too much money. I'd rather buy bombs.
I mean, Ronan, what was your thoughts on what was your thoughts on Age of Extinction, Ronan? Because you said it sort of blended into the previous one.
Yeah, well, Age of Extinction lost me when I saw that it was 2 hours and 45 minutes long, as opposed to the 2.5 hours that the other two were, give or take. So it is the longest of these movies, and it has absolutely no right to be. I think it lost me there, and then actually going throughout the film, similar to 3. Pretty forgettable stuff. Was that the one with Kelsey Grammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've actually got good actors in it.
It was funny watching Kelsey Grammer, essentially, because Kelsey Grammer is a Republican in real life. He's one of the few Hollywood actors that's a Republican, and he was basically being like the dream Republican, as Republicans see themselves, gun-toting, hard-ass, go America type of thing. So I thought that was kind of entertaining. I thought I was annoyed by the Dinobots being on the posters and essentially just being there for the last half hour or something like that. So yeah, that's it. Well, it wasn't impressed. It could have been anything really. It could have been 3 all over again, and I wouldn't have known.
It's like 3 with we're going to throw everything that we can into China and try and sell this in the Asian markets. That's it. Plus, we're going to add extra time to it.
Yeah. Well, you're all fucking wrong. It is wonderful. If this was the first Transformer movie, it'd all be fucking masturbating and coming fucking GoBots. It is wonderful. Sorry, it is. It's got structure compared to the others. As a nice flowing story. Yeah, it's just great. We've got the introduction of Lockdown, which is one of the greatest villains ever put to screen. Then we've got that backed up with the introduction of Galvatron made from Megatron's head. What is there not to like? The Autobots are in hiding. They find this brilliant scientist by the name of whatever his name, Jaeger, whatever his name is.
Brilliant scientist. What an inventor who couldn't really invent anything.
Oh, you're just so wrong. The bloke is wonderful. This has got to be Mark Wahlberg's best performance ever. Oscar worthy. It's wonderful. There is nothing wrong with this film. The action is fantastic. It is not long enough. It delivers what it promises. Transforming dinosaur, Dinobot robots, Transformers, fighting Transformers, big bombs, big explosions. It's excellent. Martin, do you remember when it came out, right?
2 hours and 45 minutes.
We came out, I downloaded it, right? I went round to Martin's house on a Thursday night. We sat and watched it, and it was that good. We watched it again, and then Martin fell asleep halfway through, and I just left him there. And I watched it twice at Martin's house. It was great. And then I came home and watched it again. This is essentially the best live-action Transformers movie that Bay did. It is great. It is wonderful. The story is fantastic. I ain't bothered about the introduction of the Dinobots just being some lame-ass dickheads. They weren't in the series anyway. They brought in at the right time for the battle. You're just all wrong. You're just anti-Transformers because all you want is shiny cartoon Transformers. This is fucking brilliant.
Let me just find the mute button for Mark. Martin, go ahead and explain why Munt's got this wrong, will you?
Because I fell asleep while we were watching it. That's pretty self-explanatory. Jesus Christ, I love movies. You know, I go 4Q. I like stuff because I like a lot of things. I'll give time to pretty much everything. Normally there's something to like in pretty much everything, and there are bits to like in this. But I fell asleep during it. Jesus Christ! I mean that's pretty much a review in itself. I mean, I did like the fact that Grimlock's supposed to be a T-Rex, not a dragon. It's not, Jesus Christ! So you've got a samurai transformer and all that. I mean, yeah. Bud Lights are being opened all left, right, and centre. Jesus,
oh, yeah, it is the best.
Has always been bad for product placement. I mean, a lot of
but this is the worst example of product placement ever.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
Open a Bud Light on your car. How's that? There you go.
I think for me, Mark, you're wrong. I mean, it's not right. I think I established this in last week's. It's not a Transformers film. It's not Transformers. They are big shiny robots. That's all they are.
Yeah, I still give it. These are still Transformers of a type.
No, they're not. They're not
the proper Transformers. They are Transformers.
Why Michael Bay obsessed with making humans equals to the Transformers? He should go to his grave and never forgive himself for that.
Yeah, the fifth is worse for that.
Hang on, we'll talk about that in a minute. There's so much shit flying around. So this is the one where you've got stuff going, whoa, and you're going, hang on, they used to hold together. I'm going to illustrate my issue with this particular film using this toy. So this is my son's Optimus Prime from Transformers of Age of Extinction. This shows...
That's Optimus Prime?
Apparently, yes. This is Optimus Prime. This is how lazy the toy makers got on the back of how lazy he got. To transform him, I do this. And he's a truck. Now, that is not a Transformer. And that is not a Transformers film.
It's a robot.
I've just got to weigh in here because that is wrong. What you've just said there, Dave. That isn't the Transformers from Age of Extinction. Those are Hasbro cashing in on the younger generation called one-step Transformers, where their kids who couldn't do Transformers could actually transform these. So you're wrong. And the reason they did that is because this was the best Transformers movie that they've made up to date. And they needed to accommodate the 4-year-old market so they could transform this wonderful Transformers from this wonderful Transformers movie.
Even the title of the film indicates how lazy they got. It's got something to do with dinosaurs. Well, they're extinct.
No, it doesn't. No, that's the problem. That's the problem people have got. It's called Age of Extinction because it is the extinction of the Dinobots. Not the Dinobots, the Autobots. They are being hunted down They've been hunted down by a lockdown in the military, and they're killing all the Autobots off that are left on the planet. That's what the Age of Extinction is. It's nothing to do with the Dinobots. They're just the Guardians that suddenly appear from nowhere, which is great. I don't mind that. And they come along.
You can't.
Optimus goes.
He can't keep a straight face.
I tell you now, right? If we had a dragon in the street and I went and jumped on top of it and rode it, I'd tame that bastard and I could take anybody on. And that's where Optimus Prime gets it right.
If you had a kid in the street on a bike, you couldn't jump on that bike. Jesus Christ, never mind a dinosaur.
So anyone with a modicum of sanity, I think we agree, it's an awful movie.
No, it's not.
It's not the worst. It's not
No.
the worst.
No.
We've got 5. We've got number 5.
Well, hang on then. Okay, right.
Okay.
Age of Extinction
Rogan's
is
jumping at the bit to go.
Age of Extinction, right? Is I think is the best Bay Transformers movie because it offers what we wanted was Transformers fighting each other for 2 3/4 hours. It was just great. I loved it. Right. Then I put The Last Night on, expecting brilliance. I put it in. I sat there for 2.5 hours, and I watched it for the first time. And I can say to this day, after watching it again, I have not got a fucking clue what that film was about. I have not got a clue. I just don't get it. The first 4, I mean, I know that people don't like Fallen, people don't like Dark of the Moon. I love Age of Extinction, but there was some form of storyline and plot, weak as they were, and Age of Extinction has got the better storyline. I can't tell you what the plot is for the last Fallen, the Last Night, because I can't find one. It just goes from this to this to this to this, and you're just sitting there going, what the fuck? And if Optimus Prime needs to remind me one more fucking time that he is Optimus Prime, I'm going to jump out the window. 18 times he says, I'm Optimus Prime, I'm Nemesis Prime, I'm Optimus Prime. Jesus fucking Christ, we know. God.
Ronan, you want to jump in as we segue between Age of Extinction?
Yeah, so I think this is the only Transformers movie I hadn't seen before this. So as I am wont to do, I opened Wikipedia first and I read the first paragraph of the plot section of Wikipedia, which I will read for you now. In 484 AD, King Arthur and his knights fight a losing battle against the Saxons. Elsewhere, Merlin approaches the knights of Iacon, a group of Transformers hiding on Earth, to help win the war. They hand him an alien staff before transforming together into Dragonstorm and turn the tide of the battle, but warn Merlin that a great evil will come for the staff. Now, I read that before watching the movie, and the first thing my response to myself was, Jesus. And I watched the movie, and that opening scene that this paragraph describes, I was like, shit, they've gone all in on this one. This is a bad movie. And I think I said in the last one, like, I'm a bad movie aficionado, and I love bad movies. And I was like, they've done it. This is their angle. I'm loving this. They've got me now. The rest of them were forgettable because they were like more of the same. And then this went all in on absolute absurdity. Yes, they absolutely had me. Did it get any better? No, it was just all very, very silly. But my gosh, they went all in on just how bad it was. It was big budget badness. And yes, fair play. And yes, I loved it. I loved it just for how bad it was.
I did love Stanley Tucci just going to the bit, I'm sozzled. I wondered where the dragon was coming from. Is that one of them? I didn't realise that was all of them going together. I've watched this film multiple times. I still didn't realise that was all of the knights gathering together to become the one dragon.
No, I still don't know what the plot of the film is. Honestly, I don't. But even if it doesn't matter.
I mean, I think 3 and 4 barely had a plot anyway, so I wasn't
Yeah,
that
but
particularly
it had a
invested.
beginning, middle, and end. This has a beginning, end, middle, beginning, middle, end, middle, beginning, end, and then oh look, here's Unicron. Roll credits. What the fuck was that?
It didn't matter. It was already a bad movie from the plot. Once you have a plot like that, having some kind of logical thing, that's not going to save it.
I never thought I would watch a live-action Transformers movie and weep physically inside like I did when I watched this, and I was just like so disappointed. I still don't get it, and it not only retcons the previous 4 movies by having the Transformers come 400 years ago, and they've all
We're going to fight in World War One and Two.
and they kill Hitler and
The
they're all
pocket
been here,
Hitler.
and Bumblebee's been here for centuries now. When I thought he came sent back to look after somebody in the next film, and I someone help because I just don't get it. Please.
What about with Anthony Hopkins, dude? And this is the pocket watch that killed Hitler. Fantastic.
What happened to Mark Wahlberg's daughter? What happened there?
You went to
She
college?
got over it all.
Yeah, they can't get in contact with each other anymore. So
Right.
she's out of movies.
Yeah.
So they brought in the younger kid instead.
See, that's something else I don't get. And who's this Megan Fox alike? Who was that? Who was she?
What
she
Megan
was,
Fox alike?
Laura Haddock from the Inbetweeners movie, and etc. So yeah,
She's
she was.
Meredith Quill in Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy.
Meredith Quill. Yeah.
Star-Lord's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, no, she's lovely. Brad, where did she come from? I don't understand. Why was she suddenly so powerful?
She's a
and
relation
wonderful?
of Merlin. She's
Yeah.
the only
she's descendant of
relation of Merlin.
Merlin. She's Merlin's only living descendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. See, I didn't even catch that bit because I didn't know what was going on.
It was.
And-
It was.
Can we just mention one thing as well? Because I think this, what strikes me what stands out in this film more than anything else, of what absurd, idiotic mess and shitty bollocks wanky piece flap it is Megatron getting his crew together.
Oh.
What the fuck was that?
Why not? I mean, look.
Oh, no, you can't have him. He's too
Former
dangerous.
shooting the shit with
Oh,
King
no.
Arthur and Merlin. Why not?
And we talk about racism in Transformers movies in the past ones. This one really got it and just got it and went, fucking look at that. Oh, Jesus.
I thought it was lazy, not very interesting, a dreadful plot. I mean, I know it's transforming dinosaurs, transforming robots, but it was so unbelievable. The Arthurian legend bit was awful. The only redeeming bit it had, the only bit where you thought, oh, okay, was Bumblebee finally getting his voice back. Other than that, it wasn't even forgettable. It was laughable. And I get what you're saying, Ronan. It is so bad. It is so bad. I could understand why you'd love it as a bad movie.
I'm kind of with Ronan in that it's one of the Transformer movies that it makes no sense whatsoever to me. No sense. They don't even really try and make it make sense or anything. But I can put it on in the background and just sort of leave it on. And, oh, pretty pictures, fighty, zap, bing, and that's it. That's all I've got to worry about. 4, they actually brought in good actors for 4. I mean, Kelsey Grammer, Stanley Tucci, really good actors. What's the British woman on at the beginning that really should have been Emma Frost in X-Men as well? Plays his ex-girlfriend, the one the excavating finds. What's that?
Sophia Miles?
I don't think so. The blonde girl, the blonde English girl that's his ex-girlfriend. But anyway, there's some really good actors actually in it. And then the story kind of just... You've pointed out like the plot points and stuff, some of the things they brought in and Transformers and stuff that were to make sense there. But it didn't really seem to work as a sort of story, particularly for me. I was more annoyed with that. 5, I expect it to be bad, and it is bad, but at least it kind of looks entertaining.
The main thing is, the original idea behind The Last Night was to do a sort of soft reboot to relaunch the franchise. And it was just an expert lesson in how to completely kill one stone dead.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea
best
was
cleared that path so that Bumblebee could come out.
I mean, the idea was the Unicron was going to come and it was going to be a start off another trilogy of movies, and it just went to shit. I'm still astounded by the old thing.
That's it. What's her name? Jenna Thingy, who was in Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel as well recently. Who comes along as not Unicron, the other
was
one.
Quintessa.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. She keeps threatening to be massive. She keeps threatening to appear in a movie and be giant, but she's never getting that big break at the moment, which is kind of crazy. They do try and throw really good actors sometimes at these franchises, and I don't know why they bother. They always win.
At the end of Dark of the Moon, Cybertron was destroyed, and now it's back again.
Yeah.
Megatron was gone, and then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, Megatron's around. What does he want? He wants to get a crew together." Where's he suddenly come from? What happened? What happened there? And it's Optimus Prime's big nemesis again, but he gets kicked out of this film so easy. They just chuck him out a window. I mean, what?
It's just lazy.
I think what you're just saying there about them coming back, I think it's just getting into the likes of those horror franchises that are far too long. Then, I mean, did we really need, 12 Friday the 13th movies?
We should have 13.
Yeah, we should have 13.
That sticks in my head because I bought, I think, 6, 7, and 8 the other day. They were on sale.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tempted to watch the Leprechaun series during this simply for Leprechaun and Leprechaun in
Go for it.
I also judge how shit films are and how shit franchises become based on action figure sales. And when The Last Knight came out, I could not shift Transformers for love nor money. They took a massive, massive dive. Even G1 stuff was just, it wasn't worth me buying in to resell it. It completely killed the market stone dead.
Lovely. How did you get on when Bumblebee came out? Was there an upsurge then?
No better, because, I mean, if we're going to go on to Bumblebee, the thing is with Bumblebee, it was a sort of a soft reboot. And with Bumblebee, people had lost so much faith in a live action Transformers. Is like Dave hadn't got round to seeing it yet. Like Ronan, have you just recently seen it as well?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so people didn't go and see it and didn't make the effort because they was expecting shit again.
Yeah.
It was like sort of they used Age of Extinction really, kind of like the animated movie where this is the point that I'll jump off at. Then if they're going to kill everybody or do something, I'm just going to jump off at this point and not get.
They committed suicide so badly with the last night. Trying to get people to watch Bumblebee was a hard task.
Yeah, and yet
it's a far superior movie to many of the others.
And yet Bumblebee did better at the box office, had a smaller budget. So yeah, I think what happened was people like me. I was so disinterested with Last Night, I didn't bother going to see it. So when you were telling me we're going to do Transformers, you've got to see Bumblebee, I relented and got it. I thought, let's give it a try. My expectations were so low. And of course, what did I say to you? What did I say to you last week? What got me excited about Transformers? Being that kid. Seeing the animated movie and seeing our favourite characters on screen. Within 10 seconds of it opening, I was that little kid again, because Optimus Prime is Optimus Prime. Cybertron is there, Starscream, Teletran 1, Soundwave, they're all there. It made sense. Okay, it's got some bad bits. John Cena is not an actor. He shouldn't be in this. He's dreadful.
I don't mind
He's
Cena.
awful. You know, the cringeworthy salute to Bumblebee at the end. Oh, God, just get rid of him. But it is a kid's film. And it was a kid's film, and it was a Transformers film, and it was bloody great. And it gave me faith that they could fix it.
It's the closest thing to an animated Transformers straight away.
And what it does, it benefits it benefits from the runtime only being an hour and 45
Yeah.
minutes as well.
Well, it was. I think it was 90 minutes. I think they went right. Let's not mess about. It was great.
But when you watch
And
it
the
again,
soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack is amazing. Mark,
the soundtrack
spot
is
on.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look at Bumblebee and you look at the 6 movies and then you watch the first one again, the plot beats and the structure is pretty much the same as the first movie.
How much does it works better?
But it works better. It is put together better.
And there's more Transformers in it from early on.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you wait for it. It hits you with that first opening 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, if you're a fan of like E1 stuff, any of the animated things, that's the film to watch. Just that first 10 minutes, just bang, that's your business.
I just wish what they had done was this, is just done a hard reset using this, instead of still trying to knit it into the Bayformers universe. What's going to happen next is they're not moving forward with the live action now. They're going back to, that opening sequence, the first bit on Cybertron. They are going back to that time to do the next movie, and it's going to be a CG animated fest with just the Autobots and Transformers. We're not being on Earth.
Sounds
I
great.
thought they were going to do the animated movie and do a live action.
They are doing a live action movie, but it's not going to be a continuation of the Bumblebee Bayformers universe.
Sounds great. Frank Welker as Megatron. Let's do it properly. Let's get what we want to see on screen. Ronan, what were your thoughts on it?
I was so pleasantly surprised by Bumblebee. Again, lost faith. I was like, Again, it wasn't one I kind of had gone out of my way to see any earlier. Like I've been curious, but not curious enough to actually put the time aside to watch it. I thought the duration, it was 2 hours on Amazon Prime. And I was like, or just under, and I was like, that's solid. That's, what a movie should be. It seemed like, I know we kind of discussed in all of them the kind of balance between humans and robots, and I think they worked that balance in better. And I think they had less pointless fight scenes. Yeah. Kind of every scene kind of seemed to mean something and seemed to drive the plot forward. It wasn't just Michael Bay saying, right, more guns, more explosions. Things happen for a reason more, and I think that's why it was shorter. And I think between having it shorter and having less pointless fight sequences, that meant they had more money for licensing great music.
Yeah,
they did. And I think that helped kick in the nostalgia feel that we've been talking about already. When we were kids, this kind of live action Transformers we want to see. And I think the money they put into the music they licensed absolutely added to that as well. And it's the sort of thing, at the end, it's like, man, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
This has got me in the feels. It wasn't a relief. Whereas like the Bay films, they were like, it was a relief when the credits started to roll. It was like, yes, thank God that's over. Whereas this, it was like, I want to see more. I want to know more about these characters. I actually felt invested in these characters, and I hadn't really felt that from any of the Bay films. So what do you want?
No, straight off, it's the Transformers film. You go at the end of it, God, I want to see more of this. Is there another one? Is there another one? Come on. The castings were great in it. The human story actually worked and worked well in it. They used Bumblebee and Transformers stuff for slapstick effect instead of just battling all the time. And so when you did actually have a fight, as Ronan pointed out, and we pointed out the other week, they kept throwing fight after fight after fight. So you didn't even notice when the big fights came at the end. It was just another one of many. And this, it's fantastic. It got you in the field straight away. You were buzzed after watching this. Yeah. And that soundtrack just hit every button as well and worked so well with it. It's the first time that you watch a Transformers movie and the soundtrack just really popped and really accentuated everything in there.
I think it's probably the only one of the 6 movies that we've watched and discussed that was kind of aimed at quite squarely at our generation who do remember the first lot, rather than being a toy advert for kids. So I think that's fine, and ultimately we've got the money, so.
I think what's fundamentally important as well with this one is when the action sequences are taking place, you can tell what's going on.
Yep.
It's not so much of a mesh of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like a mesh of stuff. I like Age of Extinction and some of the others, but it's not overwhelming in this. That you know who is fighting who, and you know when someone's throwing a punch. As simple as that, and it works. The balance is just
Wasn't
right.
it nice to have Bumblebee as a VW bug as well?
Yeah,
I mean, something stupid like that, wonderful.
And Optimus Prime at the end as the truck that you recognised and the robot that you recognised. It hit all the right notes. Yeah, it skipped a bit a few times. As I said, John Cena was dreadfully miscast as he was Hulk Hogan from what was that, Thunder in Paradise? It was that naff. It just felt awful. But it's a kids' film.
Babysitter.
Oh yeah. Oh, just awful. But despite that, I think
Suburban Commando.
Yeah, that's it. Suburban Commando. What a shit film. But with this, they got it. Good runtime, cracking soundtrack. Felt very much like watching a Guardians-inspired soundtrack, where they got just a great kick-ass soundtrack. So I was like, yeah, they've got me with this. Starting it off with the Smiths, I was like, hello, I'm awake with this one. This is great. Brilliant. Really enjoyed it, and it made me believe. It gave me heart that they can get this right, as long as they keep Michael Bay as far away from this as possible.
Unfortunately, as Monty's pointed out, Bay is involved in this as a producer, and that's probably why the worst thing about it was that it's still kind of tied into the Bay universe. I wish that, as Monty said, that they had just completely cast everything to one side and just this had been complete first brick restart of it.
I mean, yeah, the story is about in the first Transformers when Sam finds Bumblebee. He's been on the planet for a while, and it comes to pass. And this is the story about when he first came here, and then Bumblebee drives off as a VW, and the idea is he eventually bumps into Sam. So it is all tied in together, but it just looks better. And they had the chance to reboot, and I wish they did. They were too scared to.
The animation style in it is wonderful. Those colours just pop, don't they? I mean, as soon as you see Starscream in there ripping out the vocal cords, just like Bumblebee, it's like, Jesus Christ, that looks But I say that first 10 minutes, the battling on Cybertron, everything just pops to you there. It's like, Cross, I know that character, I recognise that. Oh, it's fantastic. Everything is there.
To see Soundwave in his proper form instead of a satellite in space. It was great.
Yeah. And with the voice.
And Ravage jumping.
Ravage. It made me feel like a 10-year-old all over again, and I thought that's how you do it. In fact, it inspired me so much. Evan and I are going to hit the G1 box set, and we're going to go right from the beginning. Arrival on Cybertron, and we're going to go all the way through it.
Don't forget the Cliff Jumper cameo on the Saturn as well when they go looking for.
Oh yeah, and cut him in half.
Yeah, Cliff Jumper was made to sell toys because they got a yellow one and they wanted a red one, so they created Cliff Jumper.
Yeah,
great stuff.
See, I thought that scene as well when the Decepticons actually arrive on Earth, using the humans. Then that's kind of the way that I like to see humans use it, just briefly, and to add a moment of some sort of story and just amusement, but not actually tied to the overall story at all. They're just in there for a couple of moments of amusement and then killed and gone.
It was what Megatron would have done in the cartoons, though. He would go and manipulate them and go, "Oh, we could do with their. We'll try and use their help here." I thought that was great. It felt very much like the cartoon. It was terrific.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And isn't it great that the Decepticons invented the internet as well?
Yeah. They've created like a World Wide Web thing. Yeah, it's great.
See, every day's a school day, Ronan.
I know.
In this movie, Megatron is still stuck up in the Antarctic somewhere. In ice. They gotta go and find him now.
Please just kill all of that and pretend that this is a complete restart.
And the other fuck up at the end is when you got the rest of the Transformers coming down from the sky, and that they didn't come for another 20 years yet. So that's
Yeah, but they'd already been here for hundreds of years, as we already discovered.
Yes, I keep forgetting about the last night, retconning the retcon of the retcon.
We have
I think we
skipped
should just
that
accept that
really
they've
far,
just
but
been
it
coming and
jumps
going
straight
and nobody's been really paying attention. I think that's what we've learned from it.
So
From the last three anyway. They've just been coming and going. And sometimes they check in with some people and sometimes they don't. That's why nobody's keeping track.
It's kind of like the X-Men version of the Fox X-Men version of sort of continuity, spontaneity.
So we have a few minutes left on this record, so I think we need to rank these. So are we going Bumblebee top out of this second half, if that makes sense?
No.
Ignore Mark.
Don't be demented.
So, Bumblebee, and then it's a toss-up between which is the worst between Age of Extinction and Last Night. I think it goes Bumblebee, Age of Extinction, Last Night. Is that fair?
No, I go.
I mean,
Age of
not for
Extinction.
me, but okay.
Although I consider 5 the worst story-wise, because it's just confusing as hell, really, if you try and watch it as a story. If you just watch it as a visual feat, it's kind of my second choice of the final ones.
Okay. I can accept that, and I'm happy to go Bumblebee, Last Night, Age of Extinction.
No,
and we'll ignore Mark because he's...
I'm Age of
Full
Extinction,
of crap.
Age of Extinction, Bumblebee, and then Last Night for me.
Okay.
Oh,
so-
he's gone mental again.
yeah, okay. So,
Are we going to do all 6?
Yes.
well,
And I think we should rank with the animated movie as well.
okay. Well, mine is animated movie, Bumblebee, by default, Transformers, and then I don't care for the last 4. They're just a meld of crap. So,
Ronan watches everything though, and I know watches them as a story, as an overall. So
Yeah.
I mean, down to what are you going for?
So I mean, I mostly agree with David in terms of his, but so that would be animated, Bumblebee, Transformers, and I would put The Last Night there just because I loved it as a bad movie aficionado, and the rest of them, whatever. So 2, 3, 4, whatever. Put them in the bin.
Bear with me. Hold that there. We're about to run out of time. I'm going to read. Oh, yeah, bear with me. Wait a sec. Okay.
Shazam!
Those eagle-eyed viewers, you will notice we've switched. So
This is a production where we have to stop recording and start again.
Yeah, it's quality, isn't it? So I'd said mine. Ronan, you've got yours.
Was making you not believe in finger math.
Woody, what's your ranking for all of them?
Oh Christ! But frankly, I'm along with you two at the moment. I'm very much animated movie numero uno. Bumblebee number 2, best live action film by a mile. Transformers 1, then following on as my 3rd choice. Then after that, hold on. Christ. I don't know if I care enough about the video. I've had a shifting one really then from 2, 3, 4 and 5. Could be any particular order. I find them all different levels of just crap but entertaining. I think possibly 2 might be that 4th choice. 5 might be 5th choice. 3, then 4 possibly last.
I think we've worked out the top 3 ranking, and let's just let you fumble around for your big shiny shoot, Michael Bay. Look at this.
On this.
Time for some fucking common sense.
Right.
First, Age of Extinction. Without doubt. Does what it says in the tin. giant fucking robots fighting giant fucking robots for 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's what I want to see. Don't care about fucking else. That's all I want. Boom, boom, bash, bash, boom, boom, bash. Thank you. It's wonderful. Next, Bumblebee. Just because the G1 bit at the beginning. That's it. The rest of it's nice, pretty. Nice bit of story, but it's just the G1 bit at the beginning because it's ace. Next, got to be the fucking fantastic Dark of the Moon. Complete work of art. It's there. Leonard Nimoy. Nice story. Great film. Absolutely wonderful, and I will never forget the standout moment of cinematic history when a blonde-haired girl who's thick as shit can talk Megatron into fighting. Wonderful stuff. Next, it's got to be Revenge of the Fallen. Again, a fantastic Transformers movie. I absolutely love it. Then the Transformers, the first one, purely because there's not enough robots in it. And my last animated was at the top, by the way, bro. I wasn't counting that. And then right to the bottom is Last Night, because I haven't got a fucking clue what that film's about.
Right, in a world where people aren't mental, right, we're classing as animated movie Bumblebee, Transformers as 1, 2, and 3. What's 4, 5, 6, 7? You know, what would realistically come after that?
I'm serious with my choices.
Let's face it, you're mentally ill and something's wrong with you in a very bad way.
I'm not. You are asked. The premise here, right, is to rank the Transformers live action movies, right? I am ranking the Transformers. No, fuck off. I am ranking the Transformers live action movies based on their fact they are Transformers action movies.
You are mental.
Fucking Oscar-worthy, nominated, red carpet fucking movies. They are Transformers. It is not fucking real. It is big robots fighting each other, you fucking bellends. We are talking about Transformers fighting each other. You fucking idiots.
All right.
We're not talking about whether the films are like, oh, look at this, the story shit. They're Transformers, they're robots, they're kicking the shit.
Where's the mute button? Let me mute him.
First.
I stopped listening and I'm looking up Hulk Hogan movies.
I've muted him, now I'm making these. Okay, all right. If Mark promises not to have a meltdown, I'll unmute him.
God, you know that. I mean, he's going to be waking up the kids with swearing.
So he's back. So top one is the animated movie. Then Bumblebee.
No.
Then by default, it's Transformers. And then we have.
This is what I wanted to actually fight for a little bit more for.
Which one's the least steaming pile? But it's definitely not The Last Night. That is, mind you, you like that, don't you, Ronan? I don't care enough to have an opinion on which one's the least.
Yeah, no, I have, I think, expressed my excitement for The Last Night. I mean, in the context of bad movies, I mean, if it wasn't so long, it is something I would show at a bad movie night.
It is. It's
we're ranking 4,
really
5,
bad, isn't it?
7 off 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
You got it. Too many numbers for me to.
That'll do. So
talking about fucking Chinese having involvement, you might as well be talking Chinese to me at the minute because I haven't got a fucking clue what either of you are talking about. Any of you?
Well, you know what?
On a positive note, Mr. Nanny is on Google Play US for $6.99.
Devil.
$6.99. So
you know what?
I see that with Suburban Commando.
We should do a future episode of this with comparing or ranking Hulk Hogan movies.
Oh,
including Rocky 3 with Thunder Lips.
They've made a Rocky 3. When did they do that?
Oh God! Don't start.
Yeah, you're mentally ill about that as well.
So I think we've got it. I think we've gone through the roller coaster of emotions. I think we've relived our childhood. I think we have seen what it could have been. We then had Michael Bay piss quite gently all over our childhoods. And then there was some redemption at the end.
He drank 16 pints of Guinness and full force urinated like a jet stream on us.
I was being polite.
Right, okay.
So, I think we can end it safely with this. Let this mark the end of the Cybertronian wars as we move forward to a new era of peace and happiness till
But
all are one.
I know we've got the solid 1, 2, 3. What is the ranking of the others? Because I still don't get what the ranking is.
I don't
know
care.
what the ranking is. Wrong, 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 and wrong, and wrong, and wrong, and wrong.
Very good.
Arseholes.